forecast.
Where's baby Noah?
Journey through time and around the world, discovering the fascinating and impactful ways climate and weather shape history.
That was a very important forecast.
Invisible Iceberg, Mondays and Thursdays, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, only on AccuWeather.
Severe weather happens, but you can be informed and ready. AccuWeather delivers live breaking weather and storm tracking with proven superior accuracy.
Beyonce B. Da Vinci play, repeat play, languages, bonus material about Einstein. English, French, Spanish.
The unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a solid game plan and a teammate like Granger that she can rely on to deliver the product she needs,
Discovery cards.
She's confident that she will always win the day, and her team will do the same. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to AccuWeather's Ask the Experts. I'm Jeff Cornish, and today we're talking about where the rubber meets the road. Safe driving in winter weather is our subject, and sometimes rubber meets snow or ice as opposed to the actual paved surface that we would prefer. We welcome back AAA's Manager of Driver Training Programs, Dr. William Van Tassel, to give us some tips and information that could help save time, money, and maybe even your life. So, Dr. Van Tassel, let's cover a little bit of different scenarios here for winter weather. Unusual weather events can cause hazardous driving in places that are unaccustomed to these events. We recently have talked about a major event along the Gulf Coast with snow all the way down to the beaches, for instance. For those not used to driving in the snow, what are some of the more common mistakes that drivers make?
Ears.
We see three common mistakes among drivers not really familiar with driving in bad weather. The first is the same as with experienced winter weather drivers, driving a little bit too fast. So just slowing down just a little bit will help your tires regain more traction, and that's one of the big keys to driving safety in winter conditions. Second, being too rough with the steering and the brake pedal. When people are kind of jerky with those, they tend to upset the car, and that can result in a loss of traction situation. Not good in winter conditions. And the last one is trying to brake and steer at the same time. There you're trying to ask the car to do two things at once. Far better to brake, then steer, then accelerate. One thing at a time.
That's good advice. I can relate to that. Certainly, the vehicle performs better when you do one of those things and not both at the same time. What should you do when tires spin in snow, or you might find your vehicle starting to fishtail?
Well, if your tires are spinning, you've asked your vehicle to do something that it really can't do. So the driver accelerates, the tires exceed their ability to grip the road, and they start to spin. So you just need to slow those tires down a little bit, give them a chance to grip again. So easing off the accelerator, slowing down their speed is probably going to get you a little more traction than you had. But if your car starts experiencing a rear tire skid, then that can be pretty tricky. The best advice there is to continue to look and steer where you want to go. So keep your eye on the patch of road where you want your car to be soon, and your hands and feet will just kind of do everything they can to help make that happen.
Okay, another scenario, you're driving, you lose control, you end up in a snowbank. No damage, but you're stuck. So what are some tips for drivers trying to get their vehicle unstuck from the snow?
It can be very frustrating, and it's not hard to dampen your car in this situation, so you got to be careful. First, you can start to try rocking it out. So putting it in drive, moving it ahead a little bit, gently moving it to reverse, moving back, and try and rock out. If that doesn't work, you can also try to add some traction underneath the tires that are spinning. For example, you could put some sand or dirt or kitty litter under that tire, maybe a piece of wood, or even a floor mat. Now, you might need to buy a new floor mat, but if it helps you get unstuck, probably be worth it. Last resort, call for help, and somebody will be able to come get you out.
And how is
Belly
driving on ice
button.
different than snow, especially when the snow melts and refreezes as ice?
Yeah. Snow gives you less traction, and ice basically gives you no traction. The tires lose all their grip, they're just sliding on that ice. So compared
Legs.
to snow, ice is harder to see as well. So you're driving along, you can see snow ahead of your car, but ice is clear. Might look shiny, but you're not sure if that's ice or not. Best thing there is to use cues about other drivers or other drivers slip sliding, or if you come across a bridge or an overpass, well, those tend to freeze first. So be expecting ice to be on top of those. You'll be in a much better position than if you get surprised and all of a sudden find, oh, I'm on ice and now I'm in trouble.
And we're going to get to another viewer question now. This one comes to us from Tony in New Jersey, and Tony writes, is a heavier car better in the snow?
Your car
Hat.
can help, so it presses down those tires so that the tires get a little bit more
Sure.
traction and help you get up to speed, moving ahead. The downside there is that the car weighs more, so it's harder to stop. It's harder to slow down. We see a lot of problems in snow and ice when trying to slow down. So it means longer stopping distances. So anyone with heavier cars has to sort of take that into account and start braking earlier and really look much farther ahead.
Our next question comes from Ruth in Maryland. Ruth writes, is it true that the first 30 minutes after it rains or snows is the most hazardous? So what do you say about this one?
That can certainly be true, especially with rain. In dry conditions over time,
Huh.
cars leak fluids, so a little coolant, power steering fluid, oil, and whatnot, down onto the pavement. That just kind of stacks up in the dry conditions. And when the rain comes, well, those fluids don't mix with water, so they can rise to the top. And that's what your tires first hit. At least
Discovery
until enough
cards,
rain comes
the
along to
5
wash that off
senses,
forever.
puppet
So
shows,
being conservative and driving slower
Play
than
off.
you normally would, even though it might seem a little too slow, that's going to be fine. If you drive again 1 mile an hour too fast in those conditions, could be big trouble.
All right, well, you've taught me a lot. You are the expert on driving safety, and this is a great conversation.
Play off.
We're always dialed into the weather and how it
We
impacts
listen
our lives
up.
at AccuWeather.
Duck
So, a
chase.
big thanks to Dr. William Van Tassel for being with us today. And the best part of this information is
Story
it's all available
time
to you at
with
their website,
Mimi's Toast, Toy Chest,
Thanks again, Dr. Van
Languages,
Tassel.
Thank you.
Toy Chest.
And don't forget, when you have a question about weather, space, or science, you can write us or send us a video question at asktheexperts@AccuWeather.com. You can also call us at 888-566-6606. Next in Weatherwise, we're going to share the top 3 things to know when faced with winter driving. We'll be right back after the break, so stay with us here on the AccuWeather Network.
Buying or selling a home has gotten hard. That's why who you work with matters. I partner with HomeLight to help our clients